Guns N' Roses, awesome. Brings back memories of Beer Palooza. That was awesome, guys.
I can't get the songs out of my head.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thanks
very much.
Yes. Duncan, what did you think? Did you have a good time?
I'm glad I had a designated driver.
You know, we counted. There was about 110 cars left in the parking lot after the event. So that means 110 people got home safely.
You know,
took a discount cab.
There was a point where Duncan was like, this is genius. This is so cool. We're out here drinking beer and talking to people, and they're letting us do it. Like, it was awesome. Yeah,
I think I told Dave that I loved him.
You really did.
Did you get huggy?
Yeah, he gave me an inappropriate hug.
I totally
did. On my back, he kind of did this like circular motion with his hand.
Yeah.
I was about to say there was I didn't see any severely intoxicated people, but
no.
Maybe I was among them.
It's an amazing thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were sitting there talking, and
recorded, and she came up thinking she could talk on the microphone.
Yeah. Are we picking you up, Adam?
No, now we are.
Okay, we were all talking, and what?
So yeah, there was that girl.
Yeah.
She came by. We were all done packing up almost.
She decided to have her own radio show.
She just started talking on the radio.
She's like,
on the microphone.
"What are you guys doing over here?"
Oh yeah.
Like, "Oh, we're doing a show. Can I talk?" Sure, go ahead. So she's like, "Hi, this is." I can't even remember her name, but she's just like going. I'm like, "No, we're not really." She's like, "Why not?" Like, "'Cause we're all done." She's like, "Well, can I talk anyway?" Go ahead.
When I sat down,
your French fries.
Yeah, I sat down and I'm eating French fries, talking to Adam.
And then left, and then tried to come back and pay you $1 for.
Yeah, and I took the $1 and I threw it to her, and then she bent over in her most
Like a stripper.
stripperly fashion and picked it up and got a round of applause from everybody
funny.
around there.
I wanted to pull another $1 out, but I only had a 10. I'm cheap.
You're like, she's not worth 10.
She's not worth 10.
No.
Totally. You know, it's one of the funnest things to watch. Did you see the chalk? We had a table set up where you could just grab a piece of chalk and you could write on the ground.
I did not.
And we made a box that was like 20 by 20. And 2 hours into the event, it had grown like quadruple size the box. People were drawing all sorts of body parts and signing their names and just all kind,
Really?
just drawn on the ground. And it was like half the event in this one corner. And these girls would walk up and they'd bend over and they would just lean and then fall forward. It was the funniest thing. They'd like look towards the ground with their chalk and then they just hit the ground.
Really? And then
Face first,
anybody run up and get outlines of them?
Totally.
That's
So
awesome.
great.
So, yeah, and what about, okay, well, we're not going to go too deep into that because we got some ground to cover.
Yeah, we do.
And we'll cover that on the next show. So that's a teaser for you guys when we have Dave Tida on here for the next show. But today we have Ben VanderMeer.
Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you out here. And so what's your title there?
I am a sales representative for Sierra Nevada, essentially covering the East Valley, Tempe, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, South Scottsdale.
It's an awesome gig you have.
I couldn't agree more. I love it.
Yeah. And we actually are tapping a firkin of Sierra Nevada right now.
Yep.
Hold that up for us. Tell us a little bit about that beer.
Well, Torpedo, actually, we love to say right now it's the #1 IPA in the U.S. So it's in all.
Is it really?
States. It is. It is.
Like
so
sales-wise?
Sales-wise, yep.
No shit.
It's
wow.
It's on the top, and I can tell why.
Wow.
I'm biased, but
awesome.
Great beer. It really we call it an extra IPA. It's a little bit bigger than your kind of traditional IPA. It's 7.2%, but big aromatics. We call it Torpedo in part because of a device that Ken Grossman, the owner of the company, came up with.
So you were telling me, just to condense it a little bit, torpedoing at Sierra Nevada is a process.
It is. So
what are you doing when you're torpedoing a beer?
So while a beer is fermenting, people might be familiar with dry hopping, essentially taking while your beer is fermenting in a conical, in a fermenter, you're putting in bags of hops,
right?
And that's giving a little bit extra hop flavor to those beers. The hop torpedo we actually use because when we were dry hopping in the past, would pull out some of these bags of hops, and they'd be dry at this center. So you weren't getting enough beer through there. It really wasn't pulling that full essence of hops out. So the hop torpedo is essentially a 6 foot tall, large, torpedo-looking device. Big stainless steel container, and we pack about 80 pounds of hops into these guys. And while the beer is fermenting, it's pumped through this huge vessel of hops. So it's picking up even more hop flavor, aromatics, everything like that.
And you're not worrying about it oxygenating or
it's done at a certain time, and it's pretty. I mean, there's not a lot of oxygen ingress through there, but there's enough yeast still in there that can eat up the oxygen, create carbon dioxide, and purge that all that beer of that oxidizing effect.
True to the style, or as Rob Fulmer called it, the third rail of brewing history, so implying that it's not the truth, but that the IPAs were agitated in their oak barrels on the way over around the Horn to India, right?
And there's and going back to
so that would simulate that somewhat.
It's somewhat, yeah. So I mean, the namesake, the IPA, it's when you did have barrels, the hops were packed in there because it was preservative, that it prevented from spoiling, but also kept that big hop flavor going on. But yeah, as beers are agitated, they take on a different flavor. That oxidizing effect does play to certain strengths or weaknesses of beers. Sometimes it's perfect for it, sometimes not so much.
But being the #1 IPA in the country, it's obviously working.
Yeah, it's working great, and this is really cool to have it on cask. This is something we love to play around with. We don't get them very often in Arizona, but it's cask.
You said
down here
there's only like 5 of them in the state, right?
Yeah, we only brought in 5. So
and we got this one right here at Sun Devil. So
it's dry hopped with Galaxy hops, and that's a really cool thing about casks is that when you make this beer, essentially you run it off into a keg, we can add in extra hops, so this is even more hop flavor packed into this guy. So really cool beer, and we're always happy to be able to get them in anytime we can get a cask. It's a party.
Awesome. Yeah, and by the time this hits the airwaves or the web, this cask will be empty. But this is the kind of stuff that we offer here at Sun Devil all the time, rotating, and I'm sure it won't be the last one we have. All right, so tell us a little bit about, we got 3 minutes before the break here or so, or 2.5 minutes. Give me a little background in Sierra Nevada and why it's such a great place to work.
So we've been around. We are owned by one guy. It's Ken Grossman. He started the company. We've been around since 1980, based out of Chico, California. This year, we're really excited, kind of the end of our beer camp program that we have going on this summer. Do a little bit more on that later, but we're going to be wrapping up this tour of a couple states across the country in Mills River, North Carolina, near Asheville, and that's where our brand new brewery is. So it's coming online. We're making beer from there. It's starting to get delivered nationwide.
Oh, really?
Yep. So brand new brewery, one in Chico, California, and one in Mills River, North Carolina.
And you're going to be hitting both sides of the country equally hard now.
Yep. Well, we've been in all 50 states for some time now, but it just made more sense for us.
Where are you guys on the hierarchy of the microbreweries? Like,
we are number 2. We are right behind Sam Adams. Sam Adams is, and we're almost at 1 million barrels per year. And right behind us is New Belgium, and rounding out the top 10, there are some very, very large regional breweries. Deschutes being one of them, Craft Brewers Association, some of these other Craft Brewers Alliance rather, Spätzle or
out of
Shiner.
Texas, right? Shiner Bock. Yeah.
So there's some very large breweries there, but we're number 2. We have been for a while, but we keep growing, and so does everyone else.
Awesome. Okay, and this show would be remiss to me if I didn't talk about Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, because it really is a go-to beer for me. Like, if I'm tired, I've had a long day, I'm at the store, I've always said that's my session beer.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable drinking that. So tell us, what is it that makes that beer special?
I think it's been consistency and quality all these years. Since starting out, that was one of the first beers we did. It's actually not the first beer we did. Stout. Our stout was the very first beer we ever did. But Pale Ale's been a staple from the very beginning. I think it really speaks to, going on years, it's a different type of beer. Now people are used to, a hop-forward Pale Ale. In years past, that was, in the 80s, that really wasn't anything that anyone had, a hop-forward, bitter beer. But it's that classic Cascade hop blend with, a nice malt background, not
Right.
overwhelming alcohol, but a great balance. That's really what we strive for in all
Yeah,
of our beers
it's-
is consistency and exceptional
I
beers.
look at it as I view it as like one of the session beers of people that are more advanced in their
Ha.
connoisseurship of beer.
And one of the great things about working for
Is
this
that a
company,
word?
I don't know.
connoisseurship, yeah, it is now.
Connoisseurship.
Yeah, I'll use that. I'll use it twice today. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to have to take it to break, but we'll be right back with DrinkinAZ talking about Sierra Nevada Brewing.
Phoenix Brewing Supply is an online retailer based in the Phoenix metro area. This online shop is geared up to give the homebrewer competitive prices on a wide selection of all of your homebrewing needs. Phoenix Brewing Supply provides quick access to a variety of hops, yeast, additives, and adjuncts, spiral fermenters, 5-star chemicals, chillers, draft equipment, plumbing, and hardware are all products you can find at the click of a button. When you can get most orders shipped within one business day, why go anywhere else? Log on to phoenixbrewingsupply.com today and receive 10% off of your first order when you register online. Phoenix Brewing Supply. What are you brewing today?
And we're back at the cellar, Sun Devil Liquors, DrinkinAZ. All right, guys, how are we doing? Why is
Back
everybody
at the
staring?
cellar.
Why is everybody staring at me?
No pressure.
What?
No pressure.
You're the man with the mic.
Come on, man. You're acting like it took more than one take to get this thing off the ground.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so we're back with Ben VanderMeer, the demure, shy Mr. VanderMeer,
That's me.
passing out beers at the Ash meeting and out there pimping himself in Sierra Nevada.
Wherever they will have me.
Right? All right, so one of the things we want to talk about today is beer camp.
Yes.
What is beer camp? And it's got something to do with all these bottles in front of me, so it must be wonderful.
Yes,
so
it
tell
is.
us what beer camp's all about.
So Beer Camp is a program we've had for a couple of years. Steve Grossman, Ken Grossman's brother, had this idea of, we have this amazing brewery. How do we show how do we share this with people across the country? So it just started as, we're going to invite some friends. We're going to invite distributors, accounts, other breweries to come out to Chico, brew a beer with us, and call it Beer Camp. So it's bring people up to the brewery.
Other breweries or other brewers?
Brewers and breweries. So I mean, as a group of folks, and that's pretty much what Beer Camp across America, our program for this summer is.
Okay.
But we've in the past have invited again distributors. Right now we're at Sun Devil Liquor, and Taste of Tops, sister store. Greg Eccles was one of our very first beer campers.
Nice.
So he went up. There's been quite a few different folks throughout the state that have gone up. Actually, just came back from a beer camp myself about a month ago.
So what did you do? So what? Because
Get your hand off his mic.
I've thought about going to beer camp. I'd like to do beer camp. So
Stranger danger.
what did you do?
So we actually brewed a Goza. So we did
You sleep in cabins?
Oh, actually, that's going to be something that's going to be part of our new Asheville brewery. We stayed at a very nice hotel in Chico, in wonderful Chico,
Did you
California.
watch movies about gladiators?
We didn't. That we
that's
did
good,
not do.
Because I wouldn't go to that camp. No.
Maybe in Asheville. In Asheville, we're actually going to have part of the plan for beer camp is to have cabins on the property so that our campers can actually camp. So this idea of beer camp is started off as just a collaborative effort. Let's see what other people can come up with. We have a pilot system at a brewery, so we'll have people up there. We put a whole group of folks
Pilot
together.
like a Sabco?
A
Safeco,
pilot like a 20 barrel. Sorry, a 10 barrel. So we have, actually it's a 10 barrel, and then we have 20 and 40 barrel fermenters.
Oh, those are your pilot systems?
That's our pilot system.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Whatever.
well, that's the smaller version. We initially we had a 10 barrel, which turned into a 17 barrel,
Yeah.
and then we bought 100, and now we have the 200 and the 100, and then the pilot.
So what's the size of, if you had to compare Four Peaks to Sierra Nevada in size, what would you say the ratio is there?
Brew system or capacity?
Just the whole operation.
I would say that Four Peaks probably, and I might be wrong, my friends at Four Peaks don't get angry at me, 40,000 barrels per year. And
Okay.
we, this last year, did 985,000 barrels.
Wow.
So
Anybody here got math skills to, like,
No.
I can tell you this.
Figure that out?
This is the one our great, amazing tour guides that we have at Chico tell this. We have 800 barrel fermenters, and I would say the largest in the state right now are some of Four Peaks.
Wait, do you have 800 barrel fermenters or 800 barrel fermenters?
We have 60 800 barrel fermenters.
Wow.
So Four Peaks has some 240 barrel fermenters. We have 800s, and the
240s make me feel like an ant.
yes, you could swim in there for days and days and days.
Yeah. That's crazy big.
So for an 800 barrel fermenter, it goes this way. It would take 13 pints a day for 40 years to finish one of those.
Wow.
Sounds like a great challenge, though,
Yeah.
right?
I'm in.
Fun. Yeah.
I'm in. I love
I can do that.
I prefer stacking pints end on end and seeing if they go to the moon and back.
like Twinkies.
So awesome. So yeah, I mean it's impressive. Tell us a little bit more about the beer camp. I kind of got you off track there.
Yeah. Well, it's that'll happen when we're enjoying beer.
Yeah.
Can I jump in with a question about beer camp?
Yeah.
Oso, you can brew your own at a
Yes.
place like that.
Yep.
Is it a similar type of thing where I think I can brew beer, so I'm going to go to beer camp?
And I would say Oso is great spot. They make some really great beers. That is, I mean, it's in the same.
I mean,
kind
taking
of,
scale out of the question, but is
sure.
it the same concept of like
yeah. I mean,
somebody just has a recipe, they work with the brewmaster there, and
I
that's it?
think it's that perfect balance of coming in with an awesome idea, sharing it with other people, trying to find this this perfect mix of can we and should we, and if you can find that great balance, it's a lot of fun. So a collaboration beer, I think people all look at them differently, but if you can go in with an idea of what you want to do, have some leeway of,
Right.
of different ideas for this.
Right.
If you can go in and execute something like that, it's a great thing.
Do you
So
think wine will ever do that?
that's a little bit more difficult? There are some really awesome parallels between beer and wine, but I think for just like tapping a draft, having a keg of beer, it's a lot easier to do that with beer. Have that, sell it.
It's kind of
yeah, it's
fairly
a one-off.
instant. Whereas wine, you got to age,
Mhm.
blah blah blah.
Right. Okay, so we could go way down that wormhole with wine.
Sorry,
sure.
sorry.
That's a whole different rabbit hole. That's like one of the things for me, working here at Sun Devil and being able to be part of, what we're doing here, is that I came in with a pretty decent knowledge of beer, and what I don't know about beer, I can bullshit my way through. But when people, the little old lady will come down here and ask me can you recommend a Malbec? And it's like, I'm freaking clueless.
Yep.
You know?
You're like, let me Google that, man.
Yeah. Let me get on the Google and check that out for you.
My guess would be go look for anything called Malbec.
Right. Right. And
I know
can-
enough to be dangerous.
And can you show me where the Malbec section is, please, ma'am? Yes. But I digress. All right. So back to beer camp.
For the
Is there
fifth
anything you wanted to sum up about beer camp?
What I would like to say is, I think
And why do we have all these beers in front of us?
Oh,
And what does that have to do with beer camp?
Those are here for us to drink, and
Oh,
we're going to try those
okay.
shortly. So right now, again, the program Beer Camp was designed to invite friends into the brewery to brew
Okay.
a beer with and to send it out into the market. What we're doing with Beer Camp across America this summer is a large-scale version of that. We're inviting brewery friends of ours to come into our brewery, brew a beer, and send it out. The great thing about this is we're launching with a 12-pack. That is 12 different collaboration beers.
So what is it? What's the its incentive for another brewery to come in and brew with you guys?
Fun.
It's just
It's a great time. I mean,
So if I work for, I'm just looking over your shoulder
Sure.
here at Victory, okay,
Mhm.
for example. So is that like you're inviting the brewer over at Victory to come out and hang out?
We're inviting essentially Victory as a company to be involved in this whole project that we have. Inviting the brewers,
And
the
so
owners.
they get
come
like
on
a
out
little
to
bit of a
Chico.
party atmosphere when they come out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be
So what do you do for them?
when they come out to Chico, we're drinking beer, we're talking beer, we're making beer. And with the Beer Camp across America, what we're going to be doing is we're taking it on a 7-day tour throughout the U.S. this summer, starting in about 2 weeks.
Are you putting fermenters on wheels?
We are not that I know of. I should never say never, but the beers are brewed. We're going to try a couple of them soon, but it's more or less taking this atmosphere. We've invited every
So if you're
brewery in
taking
the
it
country.
across the country,
Uh-huh.
are you then, as Sierra Nevada, going into another brewery and brewing there?
No, we invited everyone. It's a party at our house.
party at your house.
Yep.
So when you say taking it across the country, you're opening it up nationwide for people to come.
We are
to
going
California.
to. Yeah, actually, what we're doing is we are distributing these beers in all 50 states wherever we're distributed. But
Okay.
at the same time, we're doing essentially a tour. We're gonna have 7 different dates. We're gonna launch in Chico on the 19th of July.
Mhm.
We're going to San Diego. We're going to Denver. We're going to Chicago. We're going to Portland, Maine, Philly.
Phoenix?
We're unfortunately no Phoenix, so I'd say everybody go out to.
You need to work harder.
I know. That's what everyone tells me, but. So
That's on you, man.
I would say San Diego sounds like a pretty good spot, man.
Yeah?
I mean, what was it, 110 today? I would rather be out in San
Right.
Diego in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Love Phoenix, but come on, San Diego, you can't beat it. So Beer Camp is essentially right now we're launching a variety 12-pack. 12
Okay.
different beers from 12 different collaborations, breweries across the country. Run them down real quick. It's the Asheville Brewers Alliance, which is essentially the Brewers Guild for Asheville, where our new brewery is. Three Floyds, Ballast Point, Bell's, Allagash, Russian River, Cigar City, New Glarus, Oscar Blues, Victory Brewing, Ninkasi, and Firestone Walker.
So a
we
bunch of unknown brewers.
Yeah, no, you know
Yeah.
what? There's a lot of these. Yeah.
Yeah, you're helping them out.
Yeah, we're helping launch the little guys, really, So taking these beers and these brewers cross country, it's going
Right.
to be a great time. It really is going to fulfill the whole camp aspect to it. They're
Well-
going to be in buses, and they're going to be heading here, there, and everywhere, going to festivals, drinking beer, talking beer.
What could average Joe, homebrewer, six-pack Joe, maybe not the average Joe, but homebrewer, six-pack Joe, do if they wanted to try and get involved in this in some way?
I would say, just keep up on the beers. Normally this year, because of Beer Camp Across America, we didn't do this program, but in years past, we've actually invited the public to give us your best, your best pitch. Why should you come? And we've asked people to videotape themselves, do a sketch, film themselves doing something, make a good presentation. Why should you come out? And in years past, we've picked enough people. They've gone out to the brewery, brewed a beer, and that's been part of our national focus.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Anything
Fun
else you
times.
want to say about Beer Camp?
Nope, come on out. It's going to be July 20th in San Diego. It's probably the closest for Phoenix folks, but keep your eyes out for the mixed 12-pack. We're going to try a couple of those beers real soon.
Right.
But come out, try it. Let us know what you think.
They can go to your website to find out more information about it?
Beer Camp Across America. So
Okay.
check it
So
out.
is that SierraNevada.com?
It is. SierraNevada.com
And then they'll got
Beer Camp Across America.
Awesome. All right, we'll be back for our last segment. We're going to be drinking some beers with Ben VanderMeer from Sierra Nevada.
Boy, I sure wish I had a shot of tequila, or I wish I knew where I could go to get some tequila, but I just don't know. Hey, Dave, do you know where we can go?
I do, Duncan. It's Old Town Scottsdale on July 26th at the Taste Tequila Festival.
Wow! Are you going to have tons of people there? What's going on?
$50 gets you through the door, and that gets you the equivalent of 10 shots of ultra premium tequila.
Jeez, the last time I had ultra premium tequila, I was married afterwards. Well,
This-
yes, you never know, right, Dave?
You never do know. Hey, Duncan, head over to tastetequilaaz.com and get your tickets right now.
Let's go.
And we're back at the cellar at Sun Devil Liquors. Man, it's a pleasure to watch the master at work, Duncan.
One day,
Paul Harvey passed away, passed the mantle right over to you.
one day I will be a paid professional at this.
You got to admire the spirit. I mean, he's like
What
witty.
did Dean Wormer say? Fat, drunk, and stupid's no way to go through life. Oh, sorry
I've got
about
a
that.
master's.
I was quoting a movie, though.
Fat, drunk, and with a master's.
Oh, and by the way, on the whole fat part, my wife put me on a diet starting today.
Ooh.
Like, she's feeding me like an animal at the zoo. Like, she's rationing stuff out and giving it to me. And I went for
Bucket at a time.
I went for a walk this morning, and I was not awake, and I was following my wife. We walked for about a mile, but I was like 30 feet behind her the whole time, like limping with my. It's just my fatness is like setting into my vertebrae and cutting off nerves and stuff.
My old dog is like that.
Yeah,
He's got that big fat lump
yeah,
on her.
and she's getting
Oh,
me ready.
yeah.
I think we're going to go on a vacation to San Francisco in a month. I think that's what she's got planned, and to see her uncle. And last time we went to San Francisco and I was fat, I was like bedridden for 2 days after because you walk up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill. So she's trying. There's a lot of parallels here to own a dog ownership and marriage. She's
training you.
throwing the right food in the bowl and taking me for walks in the morning, basically.
Somebody's got to go to the VET.
All right. So, Ben, we have a bunch of beers here in front of us. And we
do.
just tasted. First, we had a double IPA, was it not?
So that was our invitation beer.
Right.
So just to launch the festival, everybody that's coming out, and again, this festival participation for all 7 cities
And
across
it's got the
US.
schedule on it and
Yep,
everything?
got the schedule on it. So we invited pretty much all the breweries in the U.S. to come out.
That's
if
cool.
they can make it out, we send them a bottle, just say thanks. But that was our double IPA, only available in bottles sparingly. So you might
Okay.
be able to find it here and there. Pick it up if you can. But
Do you know if we have it here?
we are going to have it here. Yes,
Here-
this will
here at Sun Devil?
Here in Sun Devil.
Okay.
It will be here this next week. You can find it right
Awesome.
up front. Yep.
And
So-
you've worked with Trish before, right?
Yeah, they're Trish and the Eccles family are absolutely amazing. I really
Yeah, they're
credit
awesome,
them,
huh?
Credit them with a lot of getting me started in this industry.
And
so
you
they've
know,
been great
you know what?
friends.
You look around at the big box stores that are around now, but before they were around, this was it.
Yeah, this was for 10 years I lived about a mile away from here. This is my local. This is really where I came to learn about beer. I took and it's right there right now, the Michael Jackson's Beer Companion.
Mhm.
I took it here and walked around the store and bought every single beer that was in that book.
Did you?
I did. It's that's how I learned beer, and with
Yeah.
Trish and Lori and Greg really kind of shepherded me through this and
Yeah.
ordered beers for me, and they're great people. And
Yeah, they are.
They the beer Michael Jackson.
The
yeah.
beer thriller. Did
Yeah.
you know that the legend of beer is Michael Jackson? He's
Really?
like the most like the beer judge,
The beer hunter.
the beer connoisseur of the best one
beer
that's ever
hunter.
lived is Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Not Michael Jackson. but
not the
Michael
other
Jackson.
one.
Their
All right.
notoriety
The
comes from
babysitter.
different things. Yeah.
So we're here in our last segment. So we talked about the double IPA, and right now we're drinking a Pils.
We just had the Torpedo Pilsner. This is our collaboration, the Hoppy Pilsner.
You
which
guys
is
are
our-
getting a lot of mileage out of the Torpedo name.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's great invention. We're taking as much out of it as we can.
So it's torpedoed with like Saaz and Czech hops.
Actually, these are this is torpedoed with some New Zealand varieties.
Oh, okay.
So it's got bright, nice, crisp, clean flavor, but also it's hoppy enough. You really kind of get enough hops to stand up and notice it. It's not
Right.
your traditional, continental pilsner.
And it got the seal of approval from our local or resident Budweiser drinker.
Yes. He
Yeah.
didn't spit it out on us.
Yeah,
So,
he said
yeah.
it was okay. He
Yeah.
said he would drink another one.
Yeah, I'll take that. It's this is about being approachable. It's about trying different beers. So the Hoppy Pilsner with Firestone Walker. The next one we're moving on to is the Myron's Walk, and that's actually a Belgian pale.
Myron's what?
Myron's Walk.
Myron's Walk. Who's Myron?
Myron is actually, I believe his first name was Myron. I forget the last name, but he is essentially the patron saint of the Appalachian Trail. So
Really?
Yeah. So in Allagash, being from Portland, the trail pretty much ends up there. So
And what is this again?
Allagash Brewing. So this is a Belgian pale, and
Okay.
this is brewed with coriander and really light, a very nice kind of wit.
Was that what
flavor
I
to
was
it.
just drinking?
I think you probably just
I
had.
just had the pills.
You had the pills. Try some
Well,
of that.
who had the other half of this beer?
I'm enjoying some right now. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get invited to that pouring.
Rival to the chain breaker.
That's a great
That's
comparison.
one. I like that, but I'm loving the Belgian IPAs.
It's a good comparison, though.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Yeah, it's kind of right up your alley. Yeah.
That's good. Very Belgian.
What is that flavor that I'm getting that
Most
is like a
Saisoni.
chain breaker?
That's the Belgian yeast and coriander too.
Gotcha.
So you're getting that really nice kind of bright, crisp, herbal hoppiness.
And
to it.
coriander is cilantro seeds.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cilantro? The seeds is coriander.
The one thing I want to make
Yeah.
sure that we absolutely try before we close up here is the new Glarus.
Ooh, yeah.
We had a request over here, so this is a English style bitter.
Okay.
So a really, really cool beer. Sir, do the honors.
Adam, we approve of your people and what they produce.
Yeah,
They make some good stuff.
Is Adam?
We're gonna
from-
check the-
Well, your last name is Wallace, right?
Yeah.
So you got people in England?
Well, he's a Wisconsinite.
No, he's from the hard drinking state of Wisconsin.
I'm Scotland originally, but actually Welsh is my heritage.
Ah.
I don't know if I could do Welsh. Hello.
Wisconsin is where my life.
That's Tom Jones. He's Welsh. My.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
no.
love Tom Jones.
She's from Southern Wales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, South Side.
Southside Wales.
Southside.
Got to be the South Side.
Already, I mean,
Yeah. All right.
That's good.
everything New Glarus comes out with, I pretty much love.
Well, that's good to hear.
Crazy.
That's good.
It's good
That's
bitter.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Jeez.
I haven't had anything I've disliked
That's
yet.
just a solid beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how else.
Well, that's the
If
thing.
I were a writer, that would suck because you'd sit down and just. That's a solid beer.
Well, you used to be
Yeah,
an
it's hard to
editor.
write about. Yeah.
File.
So are we 3 for 3 so far? The ones you've tried?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Good.
Good stuff.
These are some good beers.
Awesome.
You know what the hell you're
I love to hear
doing.
that.
Wisconsin. Don't you know? Don't you
Oh,
know? That's a good
oh,
beer, Derek.
oh, you
Don't you know,
betcha.
eh?
You betcha.
You betcha.
That's a good beer, Dad.
Hey,
Whoa, we need some more of that.
we need some tequila to go with this.
Sounds like the
Tequila?
perfect pairing.
Yes.
You guys, should I just leave?
Sounds like we need the tequila fairy.
Back.
The tequila fairy. Oh no.
Someone's got a new nickname.
Where's our dude fairy?
All right. So anything else about these beers you want? Oh, here's one that's not open.
Yeah, we got more.
What's that?
That's actually the Russian River.
Well, let's do it.
But that's a wine thing.
Yvonne the Green.
There's
Yvonne the
nothing
Great.
but wine in Russian River.
Well, we're gonna. There's some damn good beer in the
Russian
Russian
River
River.
Brewing.
They're
Yeah.
the ones that did that collaboration, right? Russian River and Avery.
The
Yep.
collaborate, not litigate.
Not
Yep.
litigate.
Yep, that's good stuff.
Love that.
It is, and really great brewery. Kind of funny backstory about Russian River and Sierra Nevada. Brian Grossman, Ken Grossman's son, is very good friends with Natalie and Vinny Salurzo, the owners and proprietors of Russian River. Vinny actually proceeded over. He officiated Brian's wedding, so they're very good friends. This is the second collaboration we've done. If anybody remembers Brux, which is our wild American ale project that we did about 2 years ago, that was another one. So interesting beer. This is
Interesting,
one I've yet
yeah.
to try. So, ooh,
I'm holding the wrong bottle. This is Russian.
So there's some Belgian yeast in that.
oh yeah.
Loving it too. I'm not just some fan.
Belgian style blonde.
I know
Yeah,
they just
okay.
beat USA in the World Cup, but
You got it. You know what?
Barely.
Belgium's got some pretty good.
Hey,
stuff
buddy,
going
thanks
on
for coming
here.
out.
They do. They do.
All right. We'll catch you later.
We can brew beers like Belgians if only we could play soccer like them. So.
You know, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah.
We made it to the Sweet 16. right?
Exactly. Excellent. 4 more years, it'll be ours. It'll be a walk-off. Yeah.
And I can't wait to watch the world burn in disappointment when the great Satan wins the World Cup. 'Cause yes, it will happen. All right. All right. So wrapping it up here with Ben VanderMeer, and thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me. We're hanging out, talking beer, drinking beer. My two favorite things at one of my favorite places. So.
Awesome. So is there anything we didn't cover? Anything else we want to get in?
No, you know what? We're gonna have it's gonna be a great summer with Sierra Nevada. Come out, try some of the beers. We've got quite a few promos rolling out with all 12 of these beers on draft.
Right.
I would say July 10th. This might not be out by then,
Uh-huh.
but if it is, July 10th, Taste of Tops.
Okay.
We're gonna have all 12 beers on. Keep an eye out. Ask everywhere you buy great beer about finding this beer, or
Wow.
if you find draft anywhere, ask them about getting some extra beer camp across America on draft.
You're gonna have all 12 of these
All
beer
12
camp
of these
beers,
at select locations.
and Taste of Tops is one of them
Taste of Tops is the first one
Awesome.
in the entire state.
in the entire state. Awesome. Would have it no other way. All right. Well, thanks again for coming out, and
pleasure.
we're gonna catch you at the next thing. You're always at all those things.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
at all those things.
Awesome. So,
All the things, all the time.
so
It's on my card.
for everybody else, this is George drinking AZ. Take care.